begin our third ball game of the afternoon.
And we welcome you back to Lancaster for Antelope Valley College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We move to Game 3 of the day, second of our doubleheader, with the host Marauders taking on the Mount San Jacinto College Eagles. The Eagles come in with an overall record of 3-9. AVC, meanwhile, after winning their second straight earlier today, are now 10-5 on the season. Emily's Sarah gets the start in the circle. Well underway in the first pitch. Line driver should say popped up back toward the mound, and Sarah right there. One pitch, one out, and we're underway. Alexis Aldridge at the plate, and that'll bring up Brianna Zavala. Zavala, the left-hander, will stand in against Sarah. Start to set the defense for you with Haley Johnson in left, Ariel Nieto in center, Trinity Holman in right. So no changes in the outfield for Cindy Vargas. Game 2 of the day. Earlier today, the Marauders with a 5-0 win against Santa Barbara City College. And they'll look for the doubleheader sweep in this one. Bunted on the ground, right side, but Sarah there quickly to retire Prado for out number 2. 2 down, bases empty, just underway in the top of the first.
Coming to bat for the Eagles,
Chelsea Washburn will be the batter. Meanwhile, let's finish up the defense. Savannah Cervantes at third, Denise Carrillo at short. Alana Hernandez moves into the lineup at second base. Victoria Alcantar will start at first base in the battery. Natalie Gomez behind the plate, and Emily Sarah in the circle. First pitch, off speed, outside a ball. Sarah ready, taking some time. Here's the 1-0. Rise ball up high, 2 balls and no strikes on Chelsea Washburn. Washburn, a freshman out of Temecula Valley High School. Stands in from the right side. Here's the 2-0. Fly ball center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit just in front of Holman and Nieto. And Washburn on with a 2-out single. Well, you get behind 2-0, and you have to come over the plate. And a good job by Washburn taking it the other way, and that'll bring up Veronica Prado. Prado in her freshman year out of Mesa High School in Murrieta. Digs in, fastball high and outside for ball 1. Well, the Marauders were dominating in game 1, limiting the Vaqueros to just 2 hits over the 7 innings en route to the shutout. And it was a solid performance in all phases, no errors. So the defense was solid. 3 runs in the first inning to take command, and then they added a couple to pull away for the 5-0 win. It was Reiser and Alcantar doing the pitching. Change in for a strike, 2 balls and a strike now on Prado. So Sarah will get the start here in the second game, and we'll see if we see Alcantar or Reiser coming back before it's all said and done. You have the feeling that we will. That was the plan for Cindy Vargas, rather than going with a couple of starts. She was going to look to use all 3 pitchers in both games, over both games. Good cut and fouled straight back to the screen. Prado was on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down, runner on first. We're in the top of the first. For Marauder softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Sarah ready, rocks and fires. Line drive, but hooking foul. A little out in front as you saw Sarah go back to the off-speed pitch. And all 3 of these pitchers feature the change prominently. It's a trio of freshman pitchers for the Marauders that will lead them here in 2022, and that makes Nayeli Delgado, Yeye, behind the plate so important. She's not behind the plate for this matchup, but she provides sophomore leadership. Meanwhile, cold strike three, and Prado down on strikes through half an inning. No score. Mount San Jacinto and Antelope Valley. It's Marauder Softball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the first from Lancaster. First pitch in for a strike on Ariel Nieto. It's Amy Perot back in the circle, making her 10th appearance on the season. For Mount San Jacinto in the rise ball high. A ball and a strike. It'll be Nieto, Johnson, and Cervantes. Same top three to get things going here in the bottom of the first. Perot came into action today with a record of 1-3. As that one misses for ball two. An ERA of 8.24, but she improved on that number as Mount San Jacinto got the win earlier today, finishing it up just moments ago. Line drive sinking into left, and a sliding catch is made for out number one. And that was Prado out in left field. Moving in, gets a good jump, and robs Nieto of a hit. So one down. Nieto retired. Just to finish the thought, it was a 3-1 win for Mount San Jacinto, their third win on the season against 9 losses. And now they'll go to work on the Marauders. First pitch in for a strike to Haley Johnson. Johnson was 1 for 2 in the opening game today. And you saw they were in at the corners for Johnson, who is a good bunter. That one just foul down the left field line. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Johnson. Cervantes waits on deck.
We'll see it again here.
Take you back to the replay, and this one almost placed perfectly. That's about a foot away from being extra bases for Johnson. And there you get a look from behind, and you see in at the corners, Johnson, a very good bunter, and the Eagles know it. Breaking ball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Johnson. Cervantes waiting on deck. Prado out in left, Zavala in center, and Barreras in right. Perot going to take a little extra time. And now we're ready. Here's the 1-2. And Johnson just stays alive, fighting that one off. Still a ball and 2 strikes. 1 down here in the bottom of the first on a chilly afternoon in Lancaster. Off-speed pitch high for ball 2. 2-2. You know it's cold when you see the outfielders wearing the jackets Ball 4. Johnson draws the walk. I think we lost a pitch in there, but either way, the Marauders have a base runner. Johnson on again. She reached both times in the opening win over Santa Barbara, reaching on an error, and then on a base hit. So she's on again, one down, and that'll bring up Cervantes. Swinging a hot bat, breaks for second on the first pitch, and in there with a stolen base. So 1 ball, no strikes. On Cervantes. Delgado waits on deck. Hot smash. That's into left center for a base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall. The Marauders are going to grab an early lead again. Cervantes rounding first. She will head into second with a stand-up double. So shades of our first game, and the Marauders going right to work in the top of the first, as that was a rope off the bat of Cervantes. She ends up at second, and the Marauders grab the 1-0 lead. That'll bring up Delgado. Talked about what Yeye does for this team beyond the numbers. Sophomore behind the plate, and that experience and leadership is so important on a pitching staff comprised entirely of freshmen. And that's been a nice bonus for Cindy Vargas that Yeye's done a great job working with those 3 pitchers, taking advantage of her experience as a sophomore. Here's the 0-1. Outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. But Delgado in the lineup as the DP today in Game 2, as Gomez will work behind the plate. Mike, I've got it at 1-1. In for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
2-2.
That looked like a screwball, I should say, from Perot as that worked inside, tailing inside to Delgado. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perot delivers. Fly ball right field. It's going to drop in for a hit and roll to the wall. The Marauders are going to extend on the lead. Delgado around first, into second. Back-to-back doubles. And Antelope Valley pushes the lead to 2-0. This is another well-hit ball. And Barreras having a little trouble picking that one up. And, Mike, unless I'm mistaken, I believe the sun is a factor, particularly on that right side in the afternoon here in Lancaster. Big swing and a miss. No balls and a strike on Carrillo. Meanwhile, the runner breaks for the plate.
They call Delgado.
All right. Okay, let's take you back and let's watch the play here as Delgado, who ended up at third, got caught too far off the bag at third, and you know that's a base running miscue, and it takes a potential run off the board. You still only had 1 out and another run at third potentially, but now that's erased, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on Carrillo. And that's somewhat uncharacteristic for the Marauders. They are aggressive on the base pass, but that's just a base running miscue as Delgado allows herself to be caught too far off the bag. And to see Carrillo out of Pete Knight High School. Started, I'm going to go back to the first game. And yeah, Carrillo back at shortstop. Both Carrillo and Manzo man the middle of that infield. And the Marauders very solid defensively in Game 1, just outside for a ball. But that has been an area of opportunity for the Marauders here in 2022, looking to shore up that defense as they look ahead to a challenging conference schedule in the Western State. Rise ball high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Perot, meanwhile, with a little help from the defense, now just 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
No runner at second.
Swung on and lifted into deep center on the run. This is going to one-hop the wall. Carrillo ends up at second. Back-to-back-to-back extra base hits for the Marauders, who have a runner in scoring position again, but you go back to the pickoff moments ago, and it's still 2-0, and for Perot and the Eagles, still an opportunity to get out of the inning with just 2 on the board, as Trinity Holman will stand in for the Marauders. Fastball high for a ball. 4 straight have reached against Perot here in the bottom of the first after a leadoff fly out to left. In for a strike, 1-1 on Holman.
My favorite part about that is I said, hey, nobody at second to change the graphic, and then now there's a runner at second.
Holman, a sophomore out of Palmdale, Highland High School. Swung on to short. The throw across. They'll get Holman to retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. 1 left on base through 1. AVC on top of Mount San Jacinto. 2-0. It's Antelope Valley College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the second inning, and a 2-0 lead for ABC. It'll be Ariana Castellon, Jasmine Barreras, Emma Bustos due up for the Eagles against Emmy Serra. Back in the circle, and she pumps the speed ball in there for a strike to get things going in the top of the second. No balls and a strike on Castellon. Castellon, a freshman out of Paloma Valley High School in Menifee. Squibber back toward the circle. Sarah fielding her position well, and it's dug out nicely by Alcantar. So good defense all the way around. And the Marauders get the first out here in the top of the second. That's a ball that could have been trouble.
0-0, Jasmine Barreras.
And that'll bring up Jasmine Barreras. One more look at it. Sarah almost gave it away, but a good job by Alcantar to come up with that one. So here is Barreras. First pitch, breaking ball low for a ball. Jasmine Barreras, freshman out of San Jacinto High School. Tailing inside 2 balls and no strikes quickly on Barreras, with Bustos waiting on deck. Sarah ready? Way outside. 3 balls and no strikes for Emmy Sarah, making her 8th appearance in the circle. Comes in with a record of 3-1. The ERA at 5.44. And Sarah ready, the 3-0, in for a strike, as Barreras taking all the way. One more look at it. We'll see here if Barreras has the green light, and she does, and fouls it away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now on Jasmine Barreras with Emma Bustos waiting on deck. Sarah trying to come all the way back. She was behind 3-0. Here's the payoff. Way high. The walk to Barreras. And a base runner for the Eagles as Emma Bustos will be the batter. And Bustos, freshman, also out of San Jacinto High School. Amanda Clark bringing in the local talent. Slow roller to third. They go to second to get the force. No throw to first. So Bustos retired on the fielder's choice for out number 2. Goes up their first pitch swinging. Cervantes needed every bit of the strong arm at third to just get Barreras by an eyelash at second. 2 down, runner at first. And the batter will be Taylor Berry. Berry, the freshman out of Great Oak High School in Temecula. This one squirts by Gomez. It'll get back to the screen. Runner will advance to second. So Bustos at second with 2 down. And now if Berry can deliver a base hit to the outfield, the Eagles will be on the board. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Berry. Sarah has the sign, kicks and delivers. In for a strike at the knees. One and one on Berry. Amy Perot waits on deck. Change in for a strike, 1 and 2. Now on Berry. See if Emmy goes to the rise ball on 1 and 2. Get Berry to chase. Swung on and missed. Berry down on strikes. And the Marauders are out of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. Through 1.5. AVC leading at 2-0 on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Number 17, Victoria Alcantara.
Bottom of the second from Lancaster. And Alcantara will lead things off. Takes the off-speed pitch low for a ball. 1-0 on Alcantara. Give you the outfield defense. Let's see if we can set the infield for you. 2 balls and no strikes on Alcantara. It's Victoria Rodriguez at third, Alexis Aldrich at short, Emma Bustos at second, Ariana Castellon at first. 2-0 pitch, line drive, right field, foul ball, or fair ball. Just inside the line, Alcantara going to round first. Another extra base hit for the Marauders, who are swinging the lumber in game 2 here today. Already 4 hits in 1+. And Alcantara at second. Well, it's a game of, what, just a few inches. As that one just drops in for Alcantara. You can't place it any better. And a long run to go get that for Barreras before tracking it down. And a bunt attempt up the line on the right side over to first. And Sarah successfully moves Alcantar to third, one down.
Next up for the Marauders.
Infield comes in for the Eagles as Natalie Gomez will be the batter. Gomez gets the start behind the plate. First pitch outside for a ball. And there you see Natalie out of Highland High School in Palmdale. Looking to bunt, and it's foul. A ball and a strike. Again, the Eagles have the infield in with Gomez at the plate. And Amy Perrone looking to get out of another jam. Laced back up the middle for a single. Gomez drives in Alcantar, and the Marauders now lead it 3-0. That's a great piece of hitting from Natalie Gomez. Watch it again. Stays back and right up the middle. AVC now leading it 3-0 here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Hernandez, high for ball one.
Nieto.
Excuse me. Back to Nieto. Okay. And Nieto has a base hit. Another hit for the Marauders. Yeah, let's correct that. So Nieto now 1 for 2. 3 hits in the inning. 6 hits on the board for the Marauders early in this one as they bat in the bottom of the second. They now have runners at first and second with 1 out. And the batter will be Haley Johnson, and a lot of options here for Cindy Vargas.
Change.
Yeah. Perot, who went in game 1, going to go 1 1/3 here and give way. We'll come back, tell you about the new pitcher. When we return, you're watching Marauder Softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. New pitcher Amanda Gromko takes over with runners at first and second and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second, Haley Johnson at the plate. She walked her first time up. First pitch low and away for ball 1. Gromko, freshman out of Chaparral High School in Temecula. And there is Johnson, the lone left-handed bat in the Marauder lineup. At the knees for a strike, 1-1 on Johnson. Cervantes, Delgado, Carrillo waiting on deck. Marauders trying to keep it going in the second. Off speed, high, 2 balls and a strike. Gromko came into action today with a record of 0-2 in 18 innings. An ERA of 8.94. Rocks and fires. Bouncing ball knocked down at third. It's foul. Well, this may be a break for the Eagles. I know that Rodriguez trying to keep that ball in play, but I'm not sure that she was going to have a play with Johnson from that left side getting down the line at first. That ball was in a terrible spot for the Eagles. Instead, it's 2-2, and Johnson back in the box. Tries to go the opposite way again. It's foul. 2-2 on Johnson. 1 for 2 in the opener. Came in batting .242. A lot of options for Cindy Vargas, typically with Haley Johnson, who handles the bat extremely well and has very good speed. Again, looking to go to that left side, fouled out of play. Interesting talking about Haley Johnson. So often you see batters from the left side, especially ones with good speed, that will go to the slap, trying to get that start toward first, work it to the left side, and take advantage of the speed. And Haley Johnson can do that, but they don't do it all the time or necessarily very often with Haley. Just a matter of preference. See a lot of players like Haley Johnson who will do that almost exclusively. 2-2. Off speed, just inside. 3-2 on Johnson. 1 down, runners at first and second.
Wow.
And that was courageous to take that pitch, but good eye from Haley Johnson. Here's the payoff from Gromko. Popped up. Left center. It's going to drop in. Now the runners had to hold. They will wave the runner around third. Now a snap throw down to third in time. And they get Nieto, but Gomez, who had to initially retreat back to second, did eventually come around to score, as the Marauders have one runner erased on the base paths again, but they do push the lead to 4-0. So let's sort it out. Not going to try and score that one. It's 2 down. As Johnson gets her second hit of the day, she's 1 for 1 here in game 2. And she ends up at second. So Cervantes has a runner in scoring position with 2 down and a chance to extend the lead. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Gromko tries the off-speed pitch. Cervantes not chasing. 2 down. 2-0 count on Savannah Cervantes, who doubled her first time up. Low and outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And Gromko working carefully to Cervantes with first base open. And when we talk to Cindy Vargas, first words out of her mouth about Savannah Cervantes, power hitter. And she has the power to take it out of here. Takes that pitch for strike 1. Cervantes coming into action today, batting .486. Does have a home run, 11 runs batted in. 3-1 pitch, roped into left for another base hit. Prado can't come up with it cleanly. That is going to allow Johnson to round third and score, as Cervantes has her second RBI of the game, an RBI single scoring Johnson. Well, this was another rocket. Off the bat of Savannah Cervantes, who hit it hard her first time up as well. You fall behind to Savannah Cervantes, and you're going to be in some trouble. It's going to take a pretty good pitch. First pitch swinging for Delgado, and fouls it back to the screen. No balls and a strike, and the Marauders now start to think about the possibility of a short afternoon in Game 3. They've got the lead to 5-0 as they bat in the bottom of the second. There is Nayeli Delgado, Yeye, out of Liberty High School. A ball and a strike on Delgado. A triple for Delgado, her first time up. 1-1 from Gromko. And was that a cold strike?
Yes, it was.
Boy, this had some movement on it. And I'm watching the release, and that looked like a screwball from Gromko. working into the right-hander.
Maybe it's just that
That's a
backup
pitch.
motion.
Saw that pitch from Reiser in our first game. Meanwhile, Delgado retired on the short fly to right to retire the side, but 3 more runs for the Marauders, and through 2, they have a 5-0 lead over Mount San Jacinto. It's Antelope Valley College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Emmy Sarah back in the circle, having been staked to a 5-0 lead through 2, and she will work to Amy Perot, who got the start in the circle for the Eagles. Bouncing ball back to the circle, and Sarah knocks it down and is able to get Perot at first for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 down. Here in the top of the 3rd. And for Sarah, a solid start through 2 1/3. 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And the Marauders with the large lead. Back to the top of the order, and Alexis Aldridge, who popped back to the circle her first time up. Again, goes after the first pitch and fouls it away. No balls and a strike on Aldridge. Alexis Aldridge in her freshman year out of Mesa High School in Murrieta. Sarah taking some time now, ready. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball, right field, Holman. There for the out, 2 down. That'll bring up Brianna Zavala, grounded back to the circle her first time up. Or I should say out in front of home plate. It was Gomez who got out to retire Zavala. As there is a look at Trinity Holman out in right field. Zavala ready. Infield in at the corners. First pitch inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Zavala. Came into action today, batting .214. No home runs, 1 run batted in. Talked about the topsy-turvy ride of Antelope Valley so far in this 2022 season. Started out with 7 wins, then lost 4 of the 5, but you take a look at the losses. For Antelope Valley, Ventura, Palomar, Mount San Antonio College, El Camino, 4 of the 5 teams that have wins against Antelope Valley this season. And for fans of softball here in the 3C2A in recent years, probably recognize some of those teams as pretty regular representatives in the championship round. But this season, those 4 teams have a combined record of 38-10. So Cindy Vargas talking about the very tough schedule. That one off of Sarah, and the throw gets away. And now a tag, but they're going to say that Zavala was safe at first. This will go down as a base hit. Sarah got a piece of it. And then Carrillo got there quickly. But the throw was just off the mark from Carrillo, who still had a chance to get Zavala. But I got to believe that's going to go down as a base hit for Zavala.
Yeah,
But again, just finishing off the point is, yeah,
she's in play.
Yeah.
I mean, what's...
Yeah, Zavala started, it looked a couple of feet inside the line, but the call that she had just run through and is still entitled to first base. So runner at first,
Yeah, Coach Vargas,
2 out.
Assistant Coach Mike Vargas out there, and he's talking about it, and that's... It certainly looked like she made herself eligible as a runner. If that's the case, and she's eligible to be tagged out.
Yeah, Mike, can we run that replay again one time? Because
Yeah.
we had, let's see if we can see if she makes what can be determined as a move toward second.
Right there. That's
And that turn right there,
This
boy, that's close.
This turn, now she's a runner.
Yeah. I think if she takes another step there, because she's got to turn, to me, Mike, she's got to turn to find the ball. And she turns to move to find the ball, and then that's about a half step towards second. That's an interesting call. It's going to go for the Eagles, and they'll give Zavala first base. But to me, that's a bang-bang call, because I think she's got to turn a little bit in her body to find the ball. No balls and a strike as that one fouled away.
I don't think she turned.
By
I think she just turned and assumed that it was out of play, and then it took a terrific bounce for first base to make the tag.
Well, I think that is the argument that Mike Vargas was making.
For sure.
No balls and a strike on Chelsea Washburn, who had a base hit her first time up. Rise ball high. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the top of the third. Earlier today, Antelope Valley, a 5-0 win over Santa Barbara. And in Game 2, Mount San Jacinto, a 3-1 win over the Vaqueros. So now the 2 teams meet in this 3-team round robin. A wave and a miss and a snap throw down, the runner back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But watch the change here from Sarah and Washburn way out in front. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Back to the fastball just outside. 2-2 on Washburn. Out of Temecula Valley High School. Chelsea came in batting .258. No home runs, 11 runs batted in. Curveball high and outside. Full count now on Washburn. So far, the Marauder pitching. 9+ innings here today. No runs allowed. And we talked about the brutal schedule of late for the Marauders as they get themselves ready for what will be a deep and tough conference in the Western State.
Jeff, we're going to keep it on.
But
one
this was an
camera
opportunity.
Here. Just a heads up, we have some pipe breakage.
Swing and a miss, and Washburn down on strikes to retire the side through 2.5. 5-0. Marauders on top. It's Antelope Valley College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the third from Lancaster. And a chilly afternoon. This goes beyond crisp. You know, our crew out there, I hope you guys are bundled up.
Jeff, I'm going to give
winter
you
conditions.
I'm going to give you the Sergeant Hulka. How would you know? You're not even here.
Well, it's a little cool here in Fountain Valley. You know, we're suffering.
It is sub
sort
50 over here. I'm going to give you a weather report right now.
I hope you packed the heavy coat. I see you back there, but
yeah, I didn't.
Well, that, my friend, is a failure to plan.
Well, it says it's 56, but it's like a wind chill of 30.
Right? I don't believe the 56 either. Not for a second. Meanwhile, we do have a new pitcher. Third pitcher today for Mount San Jacinto. And is it Jasmine Barreras? Mike, I see a 00, and I'm just double checking on our new pitcher. I believe it's Jasmine Barreras.
I'll get something definitive for you.
Carrillo, Holman, Alcantar due up for the Marauders in the bottom of the third. 2 in the first, 3 in the second for Antelope Valley. Talked about the tough schedule that they had over the last few weeks. And for Cindy Vargas,
Barreras.
A chance here, playing some games at home. Thank you, Michael. A stretch here of a lot of home games and a chance for Cindy Vargas and the Marauders to string together a few wins, get themselves going in a positive direction as they head toward their conference schedule here in 2022. And it started off well. Couple of wins and a big lead here against the Eagles, looking to make it 3 in a row and potentially move their record to 11-5 on the season. Carrillo will be the batter. Had a double her first time up. She's 3 for 4 on the afternoon so far. First pitch swung on, they jammed her, and a nice catch by Aldridge backing up at short. That was a good job by Barreras, busting it inside to Carrillo to get the out. Watch here one more time. That one tails inside. And the first batter retired here in the bottom of the third. That'll bring up Holman, who grounded to short her first time up. Trinity Holman making the move from catcher out to right field, breaking ball high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. And Holman making the adjustment. Cindy Vargas talking about Trinity Holman. Somewhat of a slow start, but starting to make the adjustment, pick up the swing, the approach that they want at the plate. So much of it for players coming into the program, adjusting to play at the new level, coming from high school. That's something that we see across sports in our coverage. You have to get used to the speed, the depth of talent at every new level. And for Trinity Holman, she is starting to make that adjustment, picking up the swing, and Cindy Vargas talking about the approach. Talking about the ability to think out but react in. Going up there with a plan, but also being able to make the adjustment on pitches, pitch to pitch. As things change, the situation changes. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Holman. Looking up Holman in her sophomore season out of Palmdale and continuing to make that adjustment, even here in her second year in the program. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Grounded to short. Her first time up. Payoff pitch on the ground and through for a base hit. Holman takes it back up the middle. Marauders have a base runner. 1 down, runner at first, and Alcantar, who doubled her first time up, will be the batter. Victoria Alcantar finished off the win earlier today, going 3 innings to close out the win over Santa Barbara. In the 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, no walks, struck out 2, no runs allowed. And she picked up for Madison Reiser and finished it off. Curveball high, 4-1. 1-0 on Alcantar. Barreras into the wide. Here's the pitch. Out of play on the right side. 1-1 on Alcantar. 9 hits in the game now for Antelope Valley. And were it not for a couple of runners being thrown out on the bases, lead might be even bigger. 2 balls and a strike. And there is Alcantar out of Apple Valley. Apple Valley High School. Again, the breaking ball gets away from Barreras. And you have to imagine in these conditions, it's tough to pitch. Getting the feel and the grip on the ball. And we've seen a number of pitchers struggle, especially with off-speed stuff. A drive into left center. This will one-hop the wall. Rounding third and holding is Holman, as Alcantar, with a double, puts runners at second and third. Still only 1 out in the bottom of the third. Well, this ball was hit so hard, no chance for Holman to score from first. That'll bring up Emily Serra and a chance to help her own cause in the circle. 2 runners in scoring position. Barreras ready, rocks and fires. Curveball back to the screen, no balls and a strike. Serra got the start earlier today at first base. She was 0 for 2 at the plate. Had to sacrifice her first time up in this one. On the outside corner, quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Serra. And a strikeout would be huge for Jasmine Barreras and the Eagles. Barreras ready. 0-2 pitch, tried the outside corner again. 1-2. Emmy Serra came into action, batting 172. Does have a home run on the season. 3 runs batted in. But right now, any old kind of a base hit will do. Hot smash toward third. Rodriguez up with it nicely. Able to hold the runners at second and third and get Serra at first. That's a big play by Rodriguez, as this was a well-hit ball. How about the pick from Rodriguez?
Impressive.
2 down. Runners remain at second and third. That'll bring up Gomez. She had a base hit her first time up. A run scored, a run batted in. And a chance to pick up a couple of runs here with a base hit. Barreras ready. First pitch, lined into center. It's going to drop in. Squirts away from Zavala. 2 runs will score. Gomez with a big day at the plate. And the Marauders push the lead to 7-0. That is a good piece of hitting again from Gomez. Now I'm impressed. You don't see Gomez in the lineup every day. But both times, a couple of good swings from Gomez. And she's now got 3 runs batted in the game on a couple of hits. And the Marauders have the 7-0 lead. 2 down. And Ariel Nieto will be the batter. Rise ball high for a ball. High pop foul out of play. 1-1 on Nieto. And Natalie Gomez, this is her 11th game, but she came into action today 2 for 5 at the plate. Well, now she's 4 for 7. It's a pretty good average. Fly ball, right center, back, and it's going to drop in just short of the wall. Nieto heads into second with a double, rounding third, and coming home to score is Gomez. So Nieto with her second hit. It's an 8-0 lead now for Antelope Valley. And again, the Marauders thinking about the possibility of wrapping this one up inside 7.
Next up for the Marauders, left fielder, number 11, Haley Johnson.
Well, this is big day at the plate up and down the lineup for AVC. They are having their way with the Eagle pitchers so far. Johnson lines it into right for another base hit. Barreras, I should say, the throw coming in is not in time to get Nieto, who was able to round third and score on the hit from Johnson.
Just have to love the approach from Johnson here. She just gets right on top of a struggling pitcher and puts it into the outfield. It's a double, RBI double.
Playing third base, number 33.
Yeah, ends up taking second on the throw as they try to get Nieto at the plate. AVC now push their lead to 9-0. First pitch low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. The count on Savannah Cervantes, who's perfect, 2 for 2. A double and a single. She's 3 for 5 on the day. 2 balls and no strikes. And Barreras has first base open. So she doesn't necessarily have to come to Cervantes with anything here. Just foul. 2 balls and a strike. But it doesn't get a whole lot easier. You got Delgado and Carrillo due up next. Heart of the order coming up for the Marauders as we take you back to the pitch moments ago.
Man.
Just wide of third, though it was going to be tough to get it past Rodriguez. Really hugging the line.
Capper?
Fly ball, left field. Going to drop in. Another hit for Antelope Valley. 3 for 3 for Cervantes today. Get it back in. Johnson easily scores. And AVC continues to pour it on. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, now 5 in the third. That'll bring up Yeye Delgado. Off speed, in for a strike, no balls and a strike. On the ground to third, Rodriguez. Across to first to get Delgado and get the Eagles out of the inning finally, but the Marauders bat around. 5 on the board on 6 hits. No errors. 1 left on. We're through 3 complete. AVC now leading at 10-0 over Mount San Jacinto College. It's Marauder softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the fourth. Sarah's pitch in for a strike. It'll be Prado, Castellon, and Barreras for the Eagles. Breaking ball high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Prado. Struck out her first time up. Marauders with a big lead as their bats have come alive. Here in game 3 of the day, ground ball to short. Prado retired. 1 down. Well, it's hard not to talk about the bats, especially with this kind of offensive explosion. But again, the pitching and the defense have been solid. We're talking about over 10 innings, still no runs allowed for the Marauders, and no errors. And again, that's a welcome sight for a team that has had some struggles in the field in recent weeks. But boy, oh boy, if they can shore that up, and you expect that they will, no balls and a strike, everything else appears to be in place, at least so far today, where the Marauders have been more than impressive. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. Curveball outside. 2-1 on Ariana Castellon. Castellon came into action 2 for 22 on the season at the plate. Shows bunt. Takes the fastball for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Down toward first, and Alcantara positioned well and able to take it herself. Was that called a fair ball, Michael?
Yeah, fair ball out.
Okay, yep. Just right up the line. That's a great view of it right there in Alcantara. That's a great job. Positioned very well. Knows that she's got all kinds of time to get Castellon if she can keep that ball in fair territory. Able to come up with it cleanly. 2 down. Bases empty. First pitch to Barreras. Off speed, in for a strike. No balls and a strike on Jasmine Barreras. Walked her first time up. Sarah kicks and delivers. Foul back to the screen. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Chance for AVC to potentially end this one in 5 innings. High fastball and a swing and a miss. Barreras down on strikes. 1, 2, 3 for Sarah. Here in the top of the 4th, we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. AVC on top of Mount San Jacinto, 10-0. It's Marauder Softball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Denise Creel will lead things off. Actually, as I'm listening in to the field noise, I believe it's Michaela Chavez which would have been hard to tell with the jacket. So good thing that we caught that. Breaking ball outside as Barrera starts her second inning in the circle. So Chavez will be the batter. Chavez had a pinch single in the win earlier today against Santa Barbara. It's out of Northridge Academy. A freshman, North Hills. 1-0 pitch, off speed, low. 2 balls, no strikes on Chavez. Chavez now 7 for 15 at the plate on the season. Seven for 15. How much longer before she starts getting more at bats? Hard to keep a bat like that out of the lineup.
It's a fact.
3-0.
You're not wrong.
Barrera's ready. 3-0 pitch. Chavez takes that one at the knees for strike one. Hot smash on the right side. Through for a base hit. And Chavez with another base hit. 2 for 2 on the day. This is a good piece of hitting as well. Out over the plate. Takes it through the right side. And we'll have a pinch runner for Michaela Chavez.
It'll be Carrillo.
And we will have another pinch hitter. Carrillo will run. And Salas will be the batter. Victoria Salas. 0 for 3 at the plate on the season. Off-speed pitch, low for a ball. So Salas batting for Holman in the bottom of the 4th. There is Victoria Salas. 1-0, back to the screen. Salas had a good cut. Victoria out of Eastside High School in Palmdale. And so much recruiting so close to home for both these teams. Lifted into center. This is another base hit. In front of Zavala. In center, back-to-back pinch singles. No let-up from the Marauders at the plate. First and second.
And Holman
nobody out.
Pinch run.
Yeah, so Carrillo and Holman now back in as the pinch runners. After Chavez and Salas deliver back-to-back hits. And Alcantar will be the batter. Well, it will not be Alcantar. It'll be another pinch hitter. Jaslyn Sharp. Out of Lancaster, Highland High School.
Got the ref.
Back to the screen. Well, that can't be fun in 50-degree temperatures.
Gotta believe you're right.
So Jaslyn Sharp with a count of no balls and a strike. The Marauders all over Mount San Jacinto. Game 3 of this 3-team round robin. In for a strike. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Sharp. Barrera's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Popped up on the right side. And out of play. That one heading toward Mike's car in the parking lot, I think.
I'm parked on the other side.
So we have to be more concerned about the hooking foul ball on the left side. Is that
yes? No,
is that right?
No, straight back, and down the towards third base. Then I'm in trouble.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Jaslyn Sharp. I just assume that your car is a magnet wherever it is. On the left side and foul. 1 and 2 on Sharp. Mentioned Sharp came in as a pinch runner in the win earlier against Santa Barbara. She's 1 for 4 or I should say 1 for 1 at the plate on the season. So that's just her second at bat. Used primarily as a pinch runner. Rise ball high. Count evened up at 2-2. Here's the pitch from Barrera to Rodriguez at third. Steps on the bag for 1. That's all they'll get. Sharp on the fielder's choice. Runners remain at first and second now with 1 down. And Emmy Serra due up next. We'll see another pinch hitter. It'll be Male Grimes. I should give the standard disclaimer, and I will. Don't always have the opportunity to check all of our names, and we do our best with our name pronunciation. We hope that we have as many of them correct as possible.
I got Male Grimes.
So Male Grimes will be the batter. She had a pinch hitting appearance in the earlier win over Santa Barbara as well. Grimes now 0 for 6 on the season overall, but an opportunity here with 2 on and 1 out against Barreras to get in on the fun if you're a Marauder fan. Breaking ball misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 10 runs on 16 hits. Big swing and a miss for Grimes. 1 ball and 1 strike. Grimes back in the box. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball deep, short. They'll flip to third to get the lead runner again. That's a nice play by Aldridge, ranging to her right. And then the heady play to go to third, which was her only play. Take a look at the replay. And straight out of the glove. Gets it to Rodriguez. 2 down. Runners remain at first and second, and that'll bring up Natalie Gomez.
It's a tough play.
Who's had a big day at the plate. 2 for 2. 3 runs batted in. That one gets away from Washburn, and the runners will advance. Second and third, 1 ball and no strikes on Gomez. Didn't get far away from Washburn, but far enough alert base running from Sharp and Grimes to take the extra base. Outside to Gomez, 2 balls and no strikes. Gomez already has a couple of runs scored and 3 runs batted in, and now has 2 runners in scoring position. 2-0 count. Shot on the right side, knocked down by Castellón, who will take it to the bag herself to retire Gomez and the Marauders here in the 4th. Well, she hit it hard again. Castellón up to the job, able to knock it down and retire Gomez. Through 4 complete, AVC on top of Mount San Jacinto, 10-0 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the 5th from Lancaster. And the Marauders with a chance to finish it off here. They can get out of this inning, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, with 3 runs on the board or less. That will bring the game to a close. Foul back to the screen.
Gotta help you right.
By Bustos, who will be followed by Barry and Perot. Emmy Sarah going to try and go the route. Hasn't allowed a run through 4+. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bustos. Retired on a fielder's choice. Her first time up. Fastball low, 2 balls and a strike on Bustos. Bustos came in batting .320 on the season. No home runs, 4 runs batted in. Fouled away. 2-2. AVC back in action next Tuesday. At home again, they'll take on Chaffee. Swung on and missed, and Bustos goes down on strikes, and for Sarah through 4 1/3. She's allowed 2 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. And it's been another impressive performance. Reiser and Alcantara looked good earlier today, and now Emmy Sarah. First pitch swinging and a base hit to right. Short throw from Holman, not going to get Barry, who had to be running hard from the outset. That was a ball where Holman was going to have a play. Take you back, look at the replay. Good piece of hitting from Barry. Straight out to right, and Holman positioned well, had a play. But Barry hustling down the line. Has the 2nd hit of the day. I should say the 3rd hit of the day for Mount San Jacinto. First pitch from Emmy, high for a ball. Perot, the batter, grounded back to the circle her first time up. Drive deep to left, back and over the head of Johnson. Barry rounding second, the throw to third, not in time. They had a chance at Barry, as Perot drives this one to deep left and over the head of Johnson. Eagle bats coming alive here in the top of the 5th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. 1 out. And the batter will be Alexis Aldridge. We'll have a pinch hitter for Mount San Jacinto. Hallie Mull will be the batter, a freshman out of Heritage High School in Menifee.
Menifee,
So a
new
chance
site
for
of the Mount San Jacinto football stadium. I think they're starting to play next year, although with the COVID times, you never know if construction might be delayed. But that was the word I got during the American Championship game.
Yeah, the Eagles coming off another outstanding year.
Yeah, and dispatching the Marauders, Antelope Valley College, in the American Championship Bowl.
Yeah, we had them in a thriller against Pasadena City College. Way outside for Sarah. 2 balls and no strikes on Mull. And all of a sudden, Emily Sarah having a little trouble closing this one out. Sarah ready. 2-0 pitch. The screwball back inside for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Watch the action. This one moves in on Mull. No chance.
Backs right up, in for the strike.
2-1. Ground ball to second. They'll go to first.
We'll concede the run.
The Eagles are on the board. 10-1. As Aldridge, or I should say Mull, is able to get the run in from third. Barry comes home with the first run of the day for the Eagles. But the Marauders are now 1 out away from wrapping it up here in the top of the 5th. They lead at 10-1. Rise ball high for a ball. Zavala scheduled up next. Is that who's up, Mike? You got a little better view than I do.
I have number 8.
That is Zavala, who's now ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Brianna 1 for 2. Singled and grounded out. Change at the knees for a strike. 2 balls and a strike on Brianna Zavala. Do want to thank Cindy Vargas for taking some time to talk to us this week. We appreciate her taking some time out of her busy schedule. I had a nice conversation about this Marauder team here in 2022. I look forward to seeing more of them in the coming weeks. It's been an impressive performance today as they look to go 2-0 on the day and move their record to 11-5. 3-1 pitch. Off speed, in for a strike, full count now on Zavala. Eagles down to their final strike potentially. Sarah ready. Popped up, back toward the screen. And out of play. Well, that was ball 4, but it's so difficult to lay off that high fastball up around the eyes, and Zavala able to fight it off. Meanwhile, Emmy Sarah trying to close this out for what would be her 4th win of the season against just 1 loss. On the ground to second. Hernandez there, but the throw is too high. Up over the head. They'll throw down to second. They've got a chance, and they got Zavala. So the Eagles do scratch another one across on the error by Hernandez, but it still will be a final at 10-2 after 4.5 as the heady play they throw down to get Zavala trying to take second to finish this one out. Michael, any final thank yous or thoughts before we sign off on our day here?
Well, of course, special thanks to our sponsors, Fonders Solari, Hunter Dodge of the West, BHE Renewables, and AES. And, of course, as always, a special thanks to Tom Gang, Dean of Kinesiology and Athletics, and Athletic Director here at Antelope Valley College. Oh, Byron Devers as well. Sports Information
3
Director.
wins in a row. Yep. For the Marauders, as they move their record to 11-5 on the season with a 10-2 win in the final game of this 3-game round robin from Lancaster. That'll do it for our coverage here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So long, everybody.